In the history of Nazi Germany, one person at the top has been overlooked, a leader who was at Hitler's table from the beginning, but who is virtually unknown today. Even more extraordinary for the culture of Nazi Germany, this person was a woman. This is the story of Eleanore Baur, the only female SS senior leader. Baur was born Eleanore Meyer in Bad Aibling, Bavaria in 1885. She left school at the age of 14 to become a midwife's assistant. Somewhat scandalously for the period, at the age of only 15 she gave birth to an illegitimate child, and did the same again aged 19, giving up both of her children for adoption. Some time after, she disappeared to Cairo in Egypt to work in a hospital, and at some point she transformed herself into some sort of religious nursing sister, returning to Munich in 1907 as a professed member of an organization called the Yellow Cross, a Roman Catholic charitable order, and calling herself Sister Pia. She married Ludwig Baur and divorced by the time of World War I, in which she served as a nurse. In the post-war chaos of Germany, she joined the Freikorps Oberland, one of many right-wing paramilitary groups formed of discharged and disgruntled soldiers, taking part in their campaign to crush the short-lived Bavarian Soviet Republic and later in fighting in the Baltic states in 1919. For her war service in the Baltic, she received the Baltikum Cross, a Freikorps decoration, and the Silesian Eagle. She would go on to meet Adolf Hitler quite by accident. Back in Munich, later in 1919, she was travelling on a tram when the conductor called her out for riding without a ticket. She was saved from further trouble by Hitler and Anton Drexler, the leader of the German Workers' Party, who were also travelling on the tram. So enamoured was she of Hitler's ideas that she joined the party, helping him to transform it into the National Socialist German Workers' Party, the Nazi Party. This woman, who dressed like a nun and worked as a nurse, was a firebrand Nazi, who worked hard for the movement, culminating in her arrest on the 11th of March 1920. She was charged with disturbing the peace following an anti-Semitic speech she gave to a large group of Nazi female supporters in Munich. Her subsequent acquittal considerably raised her profile within the party. An effective orator and fundraiser, Sister Pia also took part in Hitler's failed attempt to seize power by force in Munich in 1923, an event known to history as the Beerhall Putsch. She marched alongside Hitler, General Ludendorff and Hermann Göring, and was nearly killed in the exchange of gunfire between Munich police and Nazi marchers near the Feldherrnhalle Memorial, being slightly wounded in the confusion. For her part in this seminal moment in the Nazi Party's history, she would later receive the prestigious Blood Order, establishing her firmly as part of the Nazi elite and an old fighter. Although not widely known, Sister Pia maintained a close relationship with Hitler even after he became Chancellor in 1933. She was a member of the Inner Circle and a regular visitor to the Obersalzberg and Hitler's private house, the Berghof. She was also appointed to official high rank in the state, being honorary chairwoman of the National Socialist Order of Sisters, a nursing organization, and being lavished with praise by Dr. Goebbels' propaganda ministry. The newspaper Der Spiegel labelled her the nurse of the German nation. In 1934, Heinrich Himmler, head of the SS, created her welfare sister of the SS headquarters staff, with the privileges of an SS Oberführer, a rank that lay between a colonel and a brigadier general. Her high status and long service to the Nazi Party was rewarded with the Golden Party Badge. Her close association and honorary rank in the SS was to give her access to Germany's first concentration camp at Dachau. This was the dark side to Sister Pia, and it was fairly dark. She had been closely involved in the construction and early administration of Dachau, and was noted for her unpleasant, abrasive and domineering behaviour, and her corruption. Dachau was the Nazis' showpiece camp, intended not as an extermination centre that would come later under a plan called the Final Solution, but used to house people the Nazis considered either enemies like communists and Jews, or what they called wayward national comrades, this group including homosexuals, the serially unemployed, and habitual criminals, the latter groups often being released after serving a sentence. Sister Pia took a keen interest in how the camp was run, and was noted for her anti-Semitism and hatred of communists. However, she tolerated criminal prisoners, and happily employed them on her own projects. She had prisoners detached from Dachau to renovate a villa she was given by Hitler located at Oberhaching in Bavaria, a house she filled with looted items. Between 12 and 14 concentration camp prisoners were housed in a small subcamp near to Sister Pia's residence, suffering whippings and other abuse at the hands of SS guards under Sister Pia's direction. The work included building a swimming pool, a garage, and an air raid shelter at the house. At Dachau, where she had been given complete freedom of movement by Himmler, she ran a racket where inmates made furniture and children's toys that she profited directly from. Sister Pia was noted as moody and unpredictable, and the prisoners feared her greatly. She was also given a limousine and a driver by Hitler. At war's end, all of this corruption caught up with Sister Pia. She was arrested by the Americans and investigated for possible war crimes. Though acquitted of any possible war crimes, a denazification procedures, which was started in 1949, saw her personal property and her Grace and Favour villa confiscated, and she received a 10-year sentence in a labour camp as a major Nazi offender. But she managed to serve less than a year of her punishment, for in 1950, due to health reasons, she was able to be released and apply for both a pension and financial compensation for her troubles, and in 1955 was living once again in Oberhaching. Her last decades were fairly isolated. Shunned by her neighbours and often called an old witch by local children, she died in 1981 at the age of 95, a completely unrepentant Nazi, her tombstone inscribed, "A Life for Germany."